a 20-minute race for these guys as they are getting ready, getting the fuel mixtures and everything set up. We're gonna go trackside. So we've got one space starting at the front with Mike Gaming to the right, Ozzy starting on the second row with Ugbar down his inside, Charlie Goff third row with Benny behind him on the inside, DJ Phil Green starting on the fourth row with FTV Jose and Alfonso rounded out the grid. So we're just gonna get everyone set and ready to go. They should be running about similar fuel. Oh, Ugbar running low on fuel. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Charlie Goff's running low on fuel as well. We'll have to double check this at the start of the race because FTV Jose is not going to make this 20-minute race on 4 litres of fuel. So it's going to be the same format as the Clios and the touring cars. We do a 20-minute race with the winners of the this 20-minute race starting at the back and the losers last place starting at the front. And that's how it's going to go. These guys are running lean on fuel. We've got 5 red lights and we're go, go, go. One space did not have the best of start. Mike had a better start. Ozzy had a shocking start. He has dropped 1 place. He's going to drop another place from AVU Benny. Looking down his inside whilst he's getting looked at around the outside by Charlie Goff. There's a little bit of contact up ahead. DJ Phil Green with his lights on, is he going to make a dive down the inside into Montreal? It's really 3 wide, can he make the exit work? Doesn't look like it. We'll jump back to the front with 1 space ahead of Mike. Mike looking to get a move on 1 space here. Then we got Ozzy P3. Ozzy needs to catch onto the front, to the back of these 2 and go with these. Then we got Ugbar all over the back of Ozzy. Charlie Goff making a jump up the order and he is now P5. He's looking to chase down Ugbar and Ozzy. AVU Benny into P6. Alfonso jumping up 2 places into 7th. DJ Phil Green in P8 and FTV Jose in P9. Just looking at that fuel from Alfonso and Benny, they're very low on fuel. I'm not liking how low the fuel situation is. Same as for Ugbar. I think the only 3 that are going to make the full race is going to be these front 3. They should have to only make 10 laps, which I don't know how much fuel you'd use in a lap here. But they're making it, they're all gone through Nelson's cleanly. Comes DJ Phil Green and FTV Jose. Jose's trying to make a move here on Phil, as Ozzy is caught up to the back of these 2 ahead, and he is pulling a gap away from Charlie Goff. So there's now going to be a 3-way battle for the lead. Charlie Goff's going to be under pressure from Ugbar and Benny. Benny is just closing into the back of these 2. Charlie Goff's just lost the place to Ugbar. He might be able to get the place back throughout this lap. So the front 3 are within a second of each other from 1st to 3rd, and I think it's going to be plain sailing for these 3 if they can keep it clean and just keep the level head on. Ugbar leading away from this second group with Charlie Goff just slightly dropping away. Alfonso, Benny pulling a gap on a friend of fellow teammate member of his, Alfonso. Alfonso has pulled a gap from DJ Phil Green. FTV Lopez, Jose is looking to make a move on DJ Phil Green in the next few laps. As they come through, it's not Nelson's, Uggies. You can see how big that sausage is. It's like the size, near on the size of the car. and yeah, you don't want to be mounting them. As DJ Phil Green is under massive pressure from Jose there. The front three are keeping it level with times wise. Akbar just making a little bit of a gap on Charlie Goff here. Charlie just literally jumping in 20 minutes before this race for to make an appearance, and it looks like he's going to have a bit of fun here tonight. FTV Jose has made a move on DJ Phil Green. Fortunately, let's put Jose Phil Green into P9, which it would be last. And one space looks like he's just pulling a gap. It was 0.4 of a second faster than Mike Gaiman this lap. But Mike Gaiman looks a little bit more comfortable with going through that T1, as Ugbar's gone off wide, and that has given Charlie Goff P4. Ugbar might be under pressure from Benny now, as Benny's just coming up behind him through Montreal. Ozzy's just slowly dropped off the back of Mike Gaiman there. Ozzy was 0.3 of a second off that last lap. Started to see some guys spread it out a little bit. Sorry for the yawn there, guys. It's starting to spread out a little bit. Charlie Goff's just trying to pull a gap away from Ugbar. Ugbar and Benny have got a little bit of a gap. And Alfonso keeping on the back of Benny here. The front three are a second apart from each other now, so in total that is a 2-second gap between the first and third. Ozzy's just losing that slipstream. He needs to close back in to make a difference here. Mike is closing on this straight though, and you can see that gap drop massively. Ozzy, one of the drivers that has made an appearance in the motor for a long time, he's trying to show that he's still got the pace and he can win a race or two. I just don't feel like the GT5s are suiting him really that well at the moment. As Ugbar's trying to make a move on Charlie Goff here through Murray's. Ugbar didn't get as lucky with Charlie Goff going off this lap, so Charlie Goff's going to be able to pull a little bit of a gap away before getting the giving an Ugbar slipstream down in towards T1, which I don't think Ugbar will make a dive bomb there. No, he's way too far away. We're going to drop back to Mike, as Mike is closing in on one space. Ozzy's just dropping off this pack there. Ozzy needs to start closing in on these two when these two start fighting. But last lap, one space done a 2:02 and Mike done a 2:01.8. So he was 0.4 of a second faster, as FTV has been given a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He has got damage as well. Mike Gaiman looking to make a move on one space here. He might, if he gets a good run out onto Bentley, he could make a move into Brundle. Using that slipstream to his advantage. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this lap. It may happen next lap. We'll keep an eye on these two, as we're just seeing Ozzy slightly catch up to the back of these two whilst they battle. Mike looking to the inside. Is he going to be able to make a move here through Coram? No, he's not. He's got to be careful on the brakes here coming into Murray's. Mike getting a better exit there, and he is all over the back of one space here. One space is going to go defensive on the inside line. Is one space going to make it into turn one first, or is he going to come through into second place? One space just going over towards the racing line. Mike looking around the outside. Don't roll out wide too much, Mike, because you're going to end up in the grass. Luckily, he didn't. And one space just holding on to this P1 with Aussie just trying to close in on the back of these two. This is Aussie's perfect opportunity to get onto the back of them and make a lunge and move into the lead. Mike is just making one space sweat. He's making him sweat like he's never sweat before, putting all this pressure on him, and it looks like he's one space is doing well to not show that he's sweating. And we come into Oogies now. It's interesting to see that no one has actually clipped this sausage on the inside. They're keeping it on the track and keeping a good flow. These three have pulled a massive gap to Charlie Goff here. Charlie Goff's 10 seconds behind Aussie Albie. One space looked like he had a bit more of a better run through sector 1, sector 2, or did Mike just have a slow sector 2 there because he was 1.2 seconds off of his fastest, off the best lap. Mike is closing all the time. He's just not getting the runs out the corners. He's got such a weird setup to his car that he's over revving to gain massive time. Just under a second gap between one and Mike there, but you can see Mike had obviously had an issue there because he was 8 tenths of a second off of one there. Aussie's just losing time to these two, and if Aussie is watching the stream, Aussie needs to make a move to catch up to the back of these two. We got any battles further back? We do. We have Ugbar and Benny. Ugbar obviously must have made another mistake, and it's put him in harm's way. Is Ugbar going to be able to make a move here and jump back up to P5? One second, guys, I just forgot to promote the stream. Let's just do that. So Ugbar just losing some time to Benny there. Not looking good for Ugbar. He was in P4 at one point. He's now dropped down to P6. He's lost massive time to Charlie. Charlie has pulled a 5-second gap over Benny. Mike just over 1 second away from one space here. Can he close this down with 7.5 minutes to go to make a move for this win? One space has been the leader since the start, other than when Mike jumped ahead of him into turn 1. Can Mike put him under some decent pressure and force an error to get Mike into the lead? Aussie Albie just dropping off every lap. That last lap was 2 seconds slower than these two. He looks like he's struggling with this car through the slow corners. But Mike is now closed 2 tenths of a second to one space. He's 1.1 of a second slower. I think that's Ugbar trying to make a move on Benny. It's not close yet. But we'll keep an eye on these two. whilst we keep an eye on Mike. Mike looking to close this gap. He's 1 second away. Can he get a better exit through onto Bentley straight from Williams and get in that toe and close in on one space? It doesn't look like he got that good of an exit. He's losing time. So the qualifying pace was around 2:01s. 2:01s, 2:00s. The pole time was at 2:01 dead, which was set by one space mate. Yeah, they've done a 2:01 dead. So yeah, hello Alienzo, driver that should be here tonight. Unfortunately, he is away on holiday, or family matters. I can't remember what he said, but it's good to see you in the stream and giving it a watch. As Ugbar's trying to make a move here through Coram on Benny, as they come through Murray's down the back home straight. They come. Can Ugbar get a better exit? Ugbar's been pretty good on this exit out of Murray's. He's going to look to the outside line. Is he going to do the switch to the inside line through Richards? He's not going to be able to make the move there. And he's just going to hold off. He's actually slowed down quite a bit. He's lost some time. .1 seconds between Mike and one, but what Mike set a 6,000th of a second faster lap than one space that last lap. One space looking like he's going to hold it on here to the win, as Mike is just struggling here with that back end. It's just starting to step out. It's these are fun cars to drive, as Ugbar has just made a mistake, but Charlie has also made a mistake. Charlie dropped has dropped 10 seconds or so in that last lap, so Charlie's now down to P6. That's given Benny P4. It's now going to close these three up for the battle to P4, as Mike is still trying to make a move on one space here. Can Mike make a good exit out of Murray's back down the home straight towards Richards? With two laps to go, he might be able to nab another place here. He's been within that 1 second border for most of this race, and he is showing true determination of getting this. Yet again, another faster lap from Mike. He's just at a 2:01.6. Shame for Charlie Goff there. He was doing well in P4. He had a big gap of about 6 seconds to Benny, so he obviously had a big spin and come back on track just behind Ugbar. Ugbar and him were battling quite hard to start off with, but Mike Gaiman is now closing in on the back of one space. From my opinion there, he was holding off a little bit, trying to find out where one space was slow, and these last lap or 2 laps he's going to give it his all and make a move here as they come into Uggies now. They're not far apart. They're about 4 car lengths away through there. It's now just spread out a little bit. Mike just 9/10 away from one space here. He's not going to have the slipstream that he needs to make a move here, as Ugbar looks like he's trying to close in on Benny, and Charlie's trying to make a close in on Ugbar here. So these three might have a good little battle for this last lap. Mike and one space is still within that 1 second. They come through Bommel and through Corums now. Can Mike Gaiman show that he's got this corner perfect yet again, and he's 1/10, 2/10 closed in that one corner? Oh, is that one space spin? That is one space of spun coming out of Murray's. That is not given him the best of luck, and now Aussie's now going to try and catch up to him. Aussie is now closing in rapidly from on a one space, as one space is not back up to speed yet. Aussie could get P2 here if he's lucky. We're going to go back to Benny, Ugbar and Charlie that are all nose to tail here. Benny's going to have a second lead over Ugbar at the start of this lap. Charlie setting the fastest lap out of all three of them. Nearly a second and a half faster than Benny. Coming through that sweeping right-hander into Montreal for the last time of this first race. Charlie's looking down the inside. Charlie's going to make the move. A little bit of a lock-up, but they're going to do a switchback. Can Charlie get the better exit and come through? Palmer ahead. We'll have to see. Charlie looks to be ahead. Charlie is ahead. Now Charlie's got to close on Benny to get this P4 again. Ugbar looking to make a defensive move to get that P5 back. He's just too far back to make a move here. Charlie Goff within just over a second away from Benny. All he needs is Benny to make a slight mistake and he can have Benny here. There was a slight mistake there from Benny. He's now within that 1 second range. 0.8 of a second, 0.7. Can he keep this gap between them and get this slipstream down the Bentley straight? Coming through Williams now. The gap has stayed as close as it was. It's even closer now. Charlie's now sitting right at the back of Benny here. Can he make a move through Brundle into Nelson's? As we're going to jump back to Mike Gaming in a second to see him take the win. Mike Gaming comes across the line to take the win of the first race. One space is just going to hold off from Aussie. But Charlie has made the move and Charlie is into P4 and he has made it back past. Is Benny going to finish ahead of Ugbar? Is Ugbar going to make a dive in Murray's? We'll have to wait and see as they come through Coram. Or is Charlie just going to be under pressure here from Benny and lose the play at P4 here? Oh, Benny's deep, but as well as Ugbar is. Who's going to get the better exit? Charlie down the back straight. We're getting a photo with the motorhomes there. Charlie's going to come across the line for P4. Benny's going to come across the line for P5 and Ugbar for P6. Alfonso, where is Alfonso? Alfonso P7. DJ Phil Green will come across the line for P8. And FTV Jose is going to come across the line for P9. Though early, this is the sprint race, and then we have a 25-minute race with a one mandatory pit stop after. So what we're going to do is I will get the race results. I'm going to put them into the Discord so the guys know. We're going to set up a 5-minute practice for them. And then we're going to jump back in to another stream for race 2. And in that time that the stream is off, I'm going to have a smoke because I am needing one after that. So we're just waiting for FTV Jose coming up to the line now to finish in P9. So let's go to the Discord motive and the chat.